Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. If you paid attention to the words that came out of my mouth on yesterday's episode, well, congratulations. You have more money in your bankroll than what you started with. This YouTube channel is a free, YouTube in nature is a free channel, a free platform, if you will, where you can simply tap the subscribe button on this channel and you will always make sure that you do not miss any helpful sports betting tips and any of the education and all the stuff we do on this channel that makes you a better where you don't have to necessarily rely on anyone else. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell here at PlayerProps.ai. We teach you how to use the PlayerProps.ai app, and the PlayerProps.ai app in itself is accurate and successful enough that once you learn, spend like a day or two learning the ropes, which you can do within Discord, which again, another free product where you can learn, you're going to find yourself removing what we call your avoidable losses. Chances are, I would say, the average American in 2025, probably, if we said everybody bet $100 on everything, you probably lost $5,000 to $10,000 at minimum on what we call avoidable losses. That's you shooting yourself in the foot, betting things where there's no edge. You just bet on gut feeling or hunch, and you're not actually using anything to make decisions. So we can essentially save you $10,000 or more dollars a year by simply you applying yourself, learning what I'm teaching you in every episode. This is how we use the app. This is the app. This is how it works. This is how we use it. Hey, you just saw yesterday it works because you just made more money by doing every single thing I told you to do yesterday. But that's kind of the whole thesis behind what we've built if you're new here. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Download the free version of this app, get into the free Discord, and those are the three things at minimum that cost you $0.00 that already put you ahead of 99% of other sports bettors out there in this country who are willingly lighting their money on fire. We stopped that. So it's in your best interest, in your bankroll's best interest, in your family's best interest to stop lighting your money on fire. And if you're not sure which bets you're making that are bad bets, we help you highlight them. So make sure that you are in the Discord and you're asking questions on a daily basis. If you ask one question per day of whether the question is based on how to use the app or it's a sports betting strategy question, anything under the sun, as long as you strive to ask one question per day in Discord, you very quickly will not only master the guidelines, master the app, but you will very quickly set yourself apart from, again, 99% of the sports bettors out there who, again, are willingly lighting their money on fire. Stop doing that. Start winning more, and stop losing stuff that is easy to avoid. So we have this week, I think we're going to probably all 5 days, we're going to be doing this style of show because next week I'll be in New York for another conference all week. So let's go ahead and just find something we like here and see if we can keep this win streak going. So what we're doing here is we are setting the minimum line because there's something that we call baby lines. If the line is not high enough, it's considered a baby line. If you want more information on all this stuff, the checklist that we go through, the guidelines, again, it's in Discord. It's a free thing to join. If you want to win more and lose less, you don't have a choice. Download the free Discord app, create a free Discord account, and get on our free Discord server. Easy as that. It looks like we have a lot more games we did yesterday, thank goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. I think for the Orlando-Washington game, this might be Trae Young's first game on Washington, even though he got traded 75 years ago. And he also got ejected yesterday without even playing a single minute because he was whining like a little baby off the bench. Granted, I wouldn't say defending, avenging his teammate, his new teammate. But it's interesting that he was the first player in NBA history to get ejected from a game before playing a single minute. Not just in the game, but with his team. But I think Orlando's a pretty massive, I think they're like a 15.5 favorite anyway. Washington, they don't want to win any more games. They want to get one of these top 3 freshmen that are in the draft. So let's kind of quickly look at all. I'm just going to scroll quickly and see the things that my eyes look for first is the spread to make sure it's not double digits, which this one is. And then I look at the defensive rank because I already know the line's high enough to not be a baby line because we already set that up here. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at colors. So yeah, Desmond Bain is the first over points play that's green, but the problem is once we get down here, the difference is only 9.9. There's not enough difference between his line and the projection, and also the sports books are favoring the under. And also this is a blowout. So we already know that there are going to be 0 over points plays today. And that took us 2 seconds. That's what PlayerProps.ai does. Once you listen and learn how to use it, you will be finding optimal plays where you actually have edges within seconds. You'll be finding if the play you're thinking about is a good play or not within seconds. We take the first 2 years of PlayerProps.ai. This is actually this month. At the end of this month is our 2-year anniversary. The first 2 years was focusing on taking hours of your research time and shaving it down to minutes, which we clearly successfully did. So the next 2 years of PlayerProps.ai are focusing on taking those minutes and shaving it down to seconds. And that's what we're going to keep kind of enhancing the tools and building new things out to make it as quick as possible to recognize if something's good or bad. And that checklist that we have detailed in the Discord in the checklist channel, that's like you tattoo that on your brain, those 6 steps, and you can get home at 5:40, or let's just say you get home at 6:45 p.m. The first games are at 7 p.m. You can literally find something within 30 seconds, find a handful of things within 30 seconds, lock it in, and still have time to take a shower, cook dinner, and all the other stuff before the games ever start. We take hours down to minutes, and now we're taking minutes down to seconds. So we know there's not going to be any overplay, so let's peep the unders here. So when it comes to unders, the spread is not that important because even if it is a blowout, that means the player, granted they're a starter, are going to be playing less minutes. There's a lot of double-digit spreads here today. A lot. Yeah, a lot of them. So, okay. Let's now look. Okay, so we're looking. The first glance we did is we're looking for colors. We're just trying to. We can scroll really quick, and I can see what's green, what's orange, what's red, and so pretty much just based on defensive ranks alone, the only things I would start to look at would be Max, Zion, Brandon, and Isaiah. So now we do the next step. The next step is looking at the difference. Is the difference anything interesting? So we get 23% difference here. Isaiah Joe. So the problem, so you also, the reason, it's not just the color. First off, if you're colorblind, that's why we have the number here. If you don't know the range of numbers that equal, it's like if this is a different shade of gray to you, go to the defensive rank channel in Discord and look. When it says 83 for NBA, that means orange. So that is the mid color, which is at meh, not good, not bad, just mid. And then this is 99. So these numbers, if you can't tell what color this is, these whether it's colorblind or whatever, look in the channel. In the free Discord that you 100% have to be in. It is mandatory to have success with this app. Look at the ranges of the numbers, and you can, instead of you scrolling to look at colors that you can't tell apart, just focus on the numbers here. So the thing that I want to address on the number side is the last 2 weeks here for Chicago, 99 is 1 away from green. So this is a lot closer to being green than it is red, and so that's something to pay attention to when you see a orange here. But we'll take a peek anyway. Let's have a gander. He's missed this in the last 3 games. 14 minutes, not going to count that one. 23 and 21 minutes. These 2 games here, 31 and 33 minutes. So what is he? Is he projected to be in a starting? Yeah. Oh, Shy's out. Yeah. So this doesn't check the box for what checklist is for game script or injuries? I think that's check 4 or 5. So yeah, because there's enough OKC people that are out, even if they're favored over Chicago by 10.5, there's too much variables here to not want to touch it. And let's just use this new feature here. In the games he's played without Shy, how's he done? Oh, a lot more green. A lot more green than red. Shy's not playing. We no touchy. We no touchy. There's a lot of people not playing. Okay, so no to Joe. Next one up, B Will. So you might see like these numbers here, like, oh, in the last 10 games, 30%, 20%. These are great numbers. But then you come down here, and the thing that's alarming is when he's missing, he's barely missing. When you're looking at an underplay, you want to see like a lot less, a bigger gap from the top of the bar to this gray bar here, which is the current line of 16.5. But we see here, it looks like there's a lot of injuries, so let's peep that here real quick. Klay Thompson, questionable. PJ Washington, questionable. Cooper Flagg, doubtful. Marvin Bagley, out. Najee Marshall, out. Nope, no touchy. You're not going to force a play when there's a lot of people banged up on the team, and a lot of them are not going to be playing. So we go back to the next one. We got Zion here. Now, his orange of 56 and 56, that's a lot closer to red than it is green. Let's look at his roster. So he himself is questionable, but it doesn't seem like there's any really big injuries with the roster overall. And again, if he doesn't play, then your bet's voided anyway. So we're not. The only reason you'd be worried about him being questionable is if you're looking at over, because he's like, well, he's going to be banged up. So we don't need to play around with this because there's no starters, there's no players on his team that are have a chance to be out. The last 10 games, he's averaged 30 minutes a game. He's only projected about 26 in this one. I know it says that Lakers are 8.5 favorites, but they're also healthy. This probably will get out of hand because the Pelicans, I know if they've been winning a lot more recently, but they're still a hot mess. But they're also, aside from Zion being questionable, are healthy for the first time in a hot minute. Let's see if we can find a higher line real quick. Nope. FanDuel's, so the FanDuel that we're looking at right now is the highest line at 20.5. Everybody else has him at 19.5. So 20.5 is the best. Again, these oranges are a lot closer to red. They're very, very close to being red. Trying to think, is there any checklist that we haven't considered? So this game doesn't count, only 11 minutes played. I'm assuming he left this game with injury, which is why he's questionable today. This was a few days ago, 3 days ago. 34 minutes, 34, 33, 31, 34, 27, 32. Okay, so this is starter minutes here. Barely missed here. One bucket too many. Barely cleared the under here. So what I'm noticing in the greens, he's got 3 personal fouls. So now what I'm doing here is I'm looking, first thing I scanned was the minutes he was playing, and now I'm looking at personal fouls. And so these were like foul troubles here. So I mean, if you can get into foul trouble against probably trying to score on like DeAndre Ayton. I mean, I know DeAndre Ayton's LeBron playing out of the power forward spot. I don't know. Is LeBron playing good defense? I don't know. Is there anything with this that is alarming? So as I mentioned with, I forgot what the other player was we were talking about, but like you want to see the Reds like being misses, and like the fact that one more 3 here, and I know Zion's not a 3-point shooter, one more 3 here you would have hit, you would have covered the line. One more free throw here you would have covered this line. So he's kind of been hovering around this 20.5 mark. But if it's a blowout and he's hobbled and not 100%. Give me a second here. Yeah, let me see if I'm looking at something real quick. I don't think there's anything here. So I don't hate this, but just out of curiosity, let's back pocket this and let's switch to another stat and see if there's something that we don't hate more, aka we like more. So let's go to rebounds. So we're going to switch here to rebounds, and then we're going to change the filter. Take away, I keep clicking the wrong thing, that's me. Stop playing games with me. I feel like I kept clicking the wrong thing. So we want what? 4.5 line or higher. So I didn't switch it yet to over, which is what I like to start with, but this is interesting here. Let's peep the over real quick. This is interesting. Derek Queen. Andrew Wiggins. So we're just looking at this team because Zion's playing power forward. Had some pretty good games of 9 here. He's covered this 9 straight games. And he's only played 1 game this year without Zion. Or in the last, hold on, that's within the last 10. These are all the games he's played without Zion. And these are all the games he played with Zion. Oop. Still, a lot of green. 4.5. Seems like everybody has that line. I don't think 4.5. Projection 6.46. This might be the golden nugget. The golden goose. The golden egg, if you will. Yeah, I think So, the reason why we back pocketed the under 20.5 for Zion is that his misses on that 20.5 line were like very, very close. And I don't like him being consistent. You don't want somebody who's very consistent on their line when you're going under on them. You want to have them when they miss, they definitely miss. And Zion's been kind of hovering around that. So I wasn't 100% in love with it. But I think this is the direction we might be going for this one. I'm glad I switched over. And that's why we don't only show you points within all these stats. You have all these stats to consider and to look at to build the best bet slips you can possibly make that don't shoot yourself in the foot, as long as you're following all 6 steps in the checklist. If you don't know what the checklist is, it is in your best interest and in your bankroll's best interest and in your family's best interest that you get into the free Discord, sync your accounts, and then see what is the checklist he keeps talking about. What's check step number 1? Because you can't get to 6 unless you get through 5. You can't get to 4 unless you get through the first 3. Start at the first one and then go every single step. Check 6 steps. Does this play check all the boxes? If yes, then it's not shooting yourself in the foot. It's actually a play where you have an edge. And that makes sense. Most of the plays that you guys are missing, for the ones that aren't using the app, the ones that aren't listening to the words that come out of our mouths or my mouth, and the ones that aren't actively in the Discord asking questions and trying to get better, most of your losses are avoidable losses. Things that nobody else in the community would be playing because they don't check all the boxes. As long as you follow the guidelines, follow the steps, follow the checklist, you will eliminate almost all, if not all, of your avoidable losses. And that is the easiest way to win more, is by stop shooting yourself in the foot. If you like to have more money in your bankroll and lose less money, it's in your best interest to also tap the subscribe button on this YouTube channel, because it's one of the millions of things we do for you for free. Just tap it and you don't miss another video where we give you betting tips, again, on how to stop shooting yourself in the foot. See you guys in Discord. Good luck.